Hi everyone, this is Freddy,
And this is Marky.
and we are here to help you get the best game at the lowest possible price. And with that being said, let's get started.
Now, I've got a deal for all you first person shooter fans over at the Xbox store. If you haven't been following around with Bungie's baby for the past few years talking about Destiny 2, they actually have a good deal hanging out for you over there. And it's actually pretty relevant considering the new season that they just announced. You get access to it with this. I'm talking about Destiny 2, the Legendary Edition. Normally $79.99. You can actually get it all the way down to just $40, $39.99. Of course, I also wanted to mention too that if you can start Destiny 2 free, you are able to pick up just the Beyond Light expansion. That includes an extra season of content. So in addition to the current one, you get the one that's coming next for just $29.99 if you wanted to go that route. And Destiny 2, if you've been out of it for a while, if you know, I know a lot of people, it was really big when it first started, but in case you haven't heard, a lot has changed. Obviously, Bungie has wound up splitting with the publisher Activision, so it's kind of been allowed to handle things on its own, and it's turned into quite a different but also pretty exciting game. A lot of content and a lot of story is being thrown in there if you're willing to dive into that lore. But there's also just great events, full on raids, big events to tackle, and of course, a bunch of weapons to find. It's going better than ever. It's getting ready for two brand new expansions, and I think they're going to maybe call it until we see another Destiny game. But of course, we're going to play it by ear. But there's still a lot to do, not only planned content, but in seasonal events as well. You can do it by yourself, you can jump on with some friends. It's got a PvP aspect of playing with against other teams in different competitive modes, and of course, a bunch of enemies to destroy in various factions, and all kinds of interesting mechanics that you can explore too. All with that beautiful Halo inspired first person gameplay that I've grown to love for a while, and I hope you guys would enjoy it too, because I'm looking for some more friends to play with over there, dang it. And you can get it for an extremely low price, and so it's a great way to jump in if you haven't already.
The next game we have is on Microsoft Store is Batman: The Evil Within. This is a telltale story game, which means it's not just a regular Batman game, an adventure game or action. It's just a story that will be given to you. So imagine reading a story of Batman, but this time you're gonna watch it on the TV and you'll participate in the actions or the decisions that Batman will make. And based on the decision you make, the outcome will change. And there are many of them in this time. The story is split into many episodes, usually for people like where they can buy one episode at a time, but I would not recommend that. This is gonna cost you a lot. So now you have the entire season for like $4.99, which is I find a great deal, especially if you like Batman, you like the DC comics. There are many of the famous characters. I don't want to ruin or spoil the story, but this is a lot of emphasis on your decisions, and you will, even during fighting, if you change how you fight an enemy, it can also change the outcome. And that's what makes the story unique. Is just sit and relax. It's one of those games that you can play at the end of the day and relax while enjoying your favorite hero.
Of course, if you've been enjoying the video so far, feel free to give us a like. Also, if you haven't already, click on the subscribe button and maybe click the bell icon for notifications so that you can get in contact with our YouTube stories for even more deals. And be sure to follow us on Twitter as well so that we can clue you in on even more ways to save money.
Subscribing also will help our channel to grow, and with your support, we'll be able to build a community of gamers who are like us, have a passion for games, but don't want to break the bank when getting them. All right, enough talking, and let's get back to the deals.
Our next deal is for a game that, let's put it bluntly, I don't think I'll ever play again. But hey, I'm going to throw it out there to see if it's something that maybe somebody else will enjoy. And this is on the Microsoft Store. And this is for Amnesia, the collection. Normally $30. It's actually all the way down to just $5.99, $6. It's a collection of games in the Amnesia series. I'm going to say that I played the original one a few years ago. It took off in a big viral internet hit, and I wanted to see what the fuss was about. While I'm not big on horror games, this confirmed it. I went about an hour or two in, and I could not do it anymore. You can say what you will. I know where I'm at in my sensibilities, but That doesn't mean somebody else can't enjoy it. And of course, it's got a collection of a few titles for you to enjoy that you can play in sequential order to kind of get the whole story. I know a lot of these smaller horror games really dive into the lore that you can look or see or not see, but also can provide just a genuine experience without all of that. So it's got a little something for people, especially horror fanatics, if you like all that really tense and quick jump scary stuff. I mean, it wound up shaking me a little bit, and whether that's good or not, I'm not quite sure. But hey, like I said, I'm never above recommending it to other people to see if you can enjoy something. It could be your new favorite game. And at such a low price, you won't have to worry so much about your investment on it. So if you want to give yourself some scares, it's a great way to do it.
The next game we have is also on Microsoft Store, and this time I chose Killer Queen Black for $7.99, dropping all the way from its regular price of $20. You ever heard the saying of "don't judge the book from its cover"? Well, this applied directly to this game, because when you look at it, you will see a 2D, old graphics, maybe a game from the 90s. However, that's not the case. The game is much better than that. At its core, it's a superb mix of action and strategy in a 2D level structure. Basically, there are two teams competing against each other. Your goal is to win 3 rounds, and you can win in 3 ways. One is by going directly and killing the other opponents. The other way is to retrieve enough berries. And the third one is to ride a snail and reach the finish line. So as you can see, because there are many ways to win, there's a lot of tactical aspects. Now, in every team, one member will be the queen and the others will be workers. Workers will be limited to bringing the berries and taking it to a weaponry station where they can replace the berry with either a weapon to attack the other team or by providing shields to the workers who are riding the snail. So as you can see, there's a lot of fun, there's a lot going on at the same time, and each team can be up to 4 players. So 4 versus 4 can be very chaotic, as you can imagine. However, the game is very fun, and if you get into it, it can be very tactical, and you can find easily online players to play with you, and you can also play it locally with friends. And at this price, I definitely recommend this game.
The Microsoft Store is actually a good place to find some of our honorable mentions for the sales today. And it was one that we mentioned before. It's Forza Motorsport 7. There's both the standard edition and the ultimate edition. Standard one's all the way down to $10, but you can get the ultimate one with all the DLC for just $20. It's a pretty good deal. And the other one I want to mention is Dead by Daylight, specifically the Stranger Things edition where they crossed over with the Netflix show. Normally $49.99, down to $24.99. I want to bring this one up particularly because it's been revealed that the Stranger Things content for the game is going to be actually leaving and not available in the game, I believe, after a certain date in October. But this sale is only going to be going on for about maybe another week or two. So I want to make sure this is out there so that you guys can get a hold of this not only before it leaves, but at half the price. So if you haven't tried out Dead by Daylight yet, it's a great option too, so you can grab some content before it leaves.
We searched through Target, GameStop, and Best Buy, but we didn't find great deals that are worth mentioning, so we got stuck with Microsoft Store for this week. However, sticking with Microsoft Store, you still remember that you still have the 15% discount on making any purchase on Microsoft Store, still available through Cash App. Make sure you check the description below to see how you can apply that. And since there's not a lot of deals, we will create one. We're still on our promise to start giving $5 giveaway for Microsoft Store once we reach 100 subscribers. This will be given to somebody who has been with us along our journey in the early days, somebody who's been liking our videos, watching it, commenting, maybe following us on Twitter, somebody who's very engaged in helping building our community. So we want to thank you for your support, and as we grow more, we'll provide more giveaways.
So while of course we want to let you know about all the sales you can get games on, well, what kind of channel would we be if we didn't want to mention some of the games that you can grab for $0? And I'm talking about free. This has involved getting the Xbox Live Gold subscription, either having it through Game Pass or just having it on its own. Because in addition to getting access to special sales as well, and you can get access to the online multiplayer functionality for a lot of your games, They also give you a few free games every month. And obviously, we're late in August, so you got about less than a week to grab these. So if you haven't checked them out already, it'd be worth a shot. But in case you didn't know, the games with gold that they're handing out for free this month is going to be Darksiders 3, Yooka-Laylee, Lost Planet 3, and King of Fighters Geru, Mark of the Wolves. All these are fantastic games and pretty variety in their genres. So you can grab all of them for the low price of $0. So if you haven't checked out Xbox Live Gold yet, it's a good time to do it and be able to grab these so you can get some 4 free games. And by the time September rolls around, 4 more free games as soon as they become available.
Also, for more deals, make sure to check the video that we made last week, because many of the deals that we mentioned are still applicable to this day, and you might still be able to save and get on great deals. We hope you enjoyed the video for this week.
And of course, the same question we posed to you. We've been covering a couple of games, but going into heavy details. Did you prefer us maybe covering a lot more games, going into very lighter details? We're going to be throwing a poll up both on YouTube as well as Twitter. So if you got an opinion, feel free to let us know.
Thank you for watching.
See you next week.